Hello friends, welcome back. Today I want to talk about the dreaded quarter life crisis, because if you're in your 20s or your 30s and you're feeling lost, stuck, behind, confused, like there's so much pressure on you and you have no idea what the heck is going on, I feel you. You're not alone. Let's talk about it. Let's dive into what a quarter life crisis is. Let's reframe our mindset around the quarter life crisis, and let's instill some tips, tricks, and tools to help you conquer it, align with your highest self, and find your dream path. Hi, my name is Danielle. I'm a holistic wellness counselor, and I help anxious women heal their mental health and align with their highest selves. If that sounds like something you're interested in, then keep on watching. So what even is a quarter life crisis? A quarter life crisis is what happens when you're in your 20s or 30s and you feel immense overwhelm, pressure, and anxiety. This could be in relation to your careers, your relationships, where you live, your finances. It's when you feel like you should be somewhere over here, like you should have already made it already, or your life should look a certain way, and it doesn't look like that in this present moment. And you start to panic and feel overwhelmed, and you feel like maybe something is wrong with you or you're behind in some way. And social media is not very helpful in this way because everyone's posting their highlight reels, the key moments in their life, the moments that are going to make them feel confident about themselves. And so when we sit here and we consume and we scroll, we feel badly about ourselves. We see all of these images of all these different people experiencing different life experiences, and we think that there's something wrong with us because our life does not look like theirs, or because we get this input of what everyone else is doing, we feel like something is wrong with our own lives, and that could not be farther from the truth. We have absolutely no idea what is going on in their life. We have no idea what's happening behind the scenes. We just see this highlight reel. And so if you are feeling like you're in a quarter life crisis, my number one tip I would recommend to you is to seriously decrease the amount of time you spend online. Interesting, I'm posting this on social media, but you know what? That's where the people are. That's where I gotta get my message out. But seriously, social media is actually making you feel like your life is behind. Even though it was designed for connection, with all of these advertisements and with influencer culture, it kind of just makes you feel like your life is shit. So either delete those apps from your phone or make sure that you are downloading some type of app. There's one called Opal. This isn't an ad, I just happen to use it, where it actually like blocks certain apps for you, and that makes it really hard for you to go back into it, and it's pretty helpful. Ever since I decided to take a step back from social media and really only allow myself 1 hour a day of any type of social media use, whether that is Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat, whatever those things are. I don't have a timer for YouTube because I use YouTube for educational content, but ever since I stopped scrolling on Instagram or I limited my time, I have felt so much more peace and clarity with my own life because I found that I'm not comparing myself to everyone else's life and their highlight reels. So step one to beating a quarter life crisis is to reframe your mindset around it. So first off, you are not alone. So many people, I'd argue almost everyone, in their 20s and 30s are feeling this type of uncertainty, are confronting this fear that they are behind, that they are not meeting some expectation, deadline, or timeline that doesn't exist, if I'm being completely honest with you. And so you are not alone. If you look around at everyone, they are probably feeling uncertain and confused in some area of your life. So just because you're feeling that way does not mean there's anything wrong with you. If anything, it's just a very normal developmental stage thing. Also, uncertainty does not equal failure. It actually is a sign that you are growing. Because if you are comfortable in your safe little bubble of your life, then you wouldn't be feeling this need to expand. So the fact that you are feeling this need and you're uncertain about what to do means that you have this growth mindset, that you are desiring expansion and that you are growing. And if you're growing, it means you are aligning. I also wanted to bring up the science of neuroplasticity because this is really relevant even in your 20s and 30s. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to adapt, change, and rewire based on experiences. What that means is that your brain isn't fixed. You can create new thought patterns, belief systems, behaviors, and habits at any time in your life. So actually you can teach an old dog new tricks. And believe it or not, your 20s and 30s are a major time of brain development, especially in relation to decision making, emotional regulation, and long-term planning. So if you're feeling stuck or lost, there's literally nothing wrong with you. It's actually so normal. It's because your brain is actively rewiring and trying to make sense of these new challenges. So actually, the more you lean into this feeling of uncertainty and confusion, the more you explore, learn new skills, experiment outside your comfort zone, the more you reinforce the neural pathways that are going to help you align with your highest and best self. So instead of asking yourself, why am I so behind? Why am I so confused? Why does my life look like X, Y, or Z? Ask yourself, what is this phase of life trying to teach me or show me? How can I use this feeling of discomfort as a springboard to make new choices, have new experiences, rewire my brain to align with my best self? If you feel like you're undergoing a quarter life crisis, that's actually a good thing. So step one is to reframe your mindset. Reframe how you are looking at these feelings and looking at this stage of life. And step two is to journal out and get some clarity. Now that you no longer feel bad about yourself for feeling all of these feelings, now I want you to use this portal as an opportunity to gain clarity on what it is that's going to help you set you up for success and feel a little more comfortable and aligned within yourself and in your external reality. So I have 3 simple but very deep questions that I want you to ask yourself. You can reflect this in a journal or kind of just in your head, pause this video and meditate on it, whatever feels good for you. Number 1 is, what truly excites me, even if I don't monetize it or make a career out of it? This question will give you so many insights about what your passions are in life. I think also with social media, everything has become something that can be monetized. And so it's challenging for us to just do a hobby without thinking of ways that we can make it a side hustle. So in this question, I want you to just write down everything that excites you about life that maybe could be a career path or could be something that is monetized, but it doesn't have to be. It's just something that excites you and makes you happy to be a human on this planet, even though things are confusing and chaotic all of the time. Question number 2 is, if I was alone on a private island with all of the amenities that I needed, i.e. if I did not care at all what other people thought of me, if I wasn't being perceived by anybody, what would I do with my time? Equally as important, what would I be doing differently to what I am doing right now? This is a really powerful question because we don't even realize the, subconscious blocks or limiting beliefs or conditioning patterns around how we are being perceived or how we think we should show up in the world socially, that is actually keeping us stuck in old patterns that do not serve us, keeping us stuck doing things that literally do not align at all. So if you allow yourself to really get into that meditative state and imagine yourself in a world where you weren't being perceived, where you were just on an island and you had everything and it's just this magical island where everything was provided for you, how would you spend your time? What would you be doing differently? Equally as important, if you did not care at all what other people thought of you, how would you show up? How would you use your gifts? How would you speak to people? How would you dress, right? All of these things are so important. And as you begin to journal and really allow your hand to move, when you get to the end of the paper and you feel like, all right, I've exhausted all my options, I can't go any further, go further, write even more, push past that barrier, because sometimes the subconscious is scared of what we're really gonna find out. So it'll say like, oh, we have no more ideas, we're stuck. Go past that, barrel past that wall and keep writing, keep reflecting, because I promise you, you will find something in there that you're like, whoa, I didn't even realize my subconscious was keeping this part of my authentic self blocked. And question number 3 is, what is one small step that I can take today or this week that'll make me feel more aligned? Now, we just journaled out very abstract, very broad things, and I want to bring that and ground that into the present moment, into this present reality. So taking all that information, kind of realizing, all right, this is what feels more aligned to me that maybe I'm not actually doing in my everyday life. What is one small thing, easy, that you can start to make a habit that you can implement today? Let's say if you want to be a writer, maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier and just finding a creative writing prompt and writing that creative writing prompt out in your journal or on the computer, right? Or if you really love nature and you find that you feel the most aligned when you're connecting with nature, what is one way that you can connect deeper with nature in your everyday life? Maybe that is going on a long hike on Sundays, or maybe that's just making sure that you are carving out 20 to 30 minutes every single day to just be mindful in nature, bare feet on the ground, no matter the temperature, right? So what's one small thing that you can make a habit starting today that'll bring you more and more into alignment with who you really are and the life that you'd like to create? I knew for the past few years now that I wanted to make a career out of helping people with their mental health. And so when I was in school, when I was getting my degree and certifications, and now I'm getting my master's degree, I was asking myself, ways that I could show up and support people as if they were my clients, even though I don't have the degrees and certifications to actually see them one-on-one. And so something that I did back in 2021 was I started my podcast, The Stars Are Calling You. And I decided, I'm going to show up and I'm going to share these things and I'm going to do it with the intention of helping women just like myself heal their mental health, align with their highest self. I'm going to do that and I'm going to show up right now. I asked myself, what is one way that I can do that now as I'm working towards getting my degrees and certifications? And when I tell you that that was seriously the springboard for my entire career, because I developed so much of my sense of self as a clinician, as a speaker, as a researcher through doing that podcast. And although it wasn't successful at all by like any monetary means, it was so successful to me because I went outside my comfort zone. I started something new. I learned a new skill set and I showed up every single week. I researched episodes, I scripted them out, or I made some bullet points that I wanted to talk about. I edited it, I posted it, I talked to people about it. And then when I was ready to kind of like hang my shingle on the door and start seeing clients, I had a lot of people come to me because they liked my podcast. I had a lot of people say, I was looking around for, a counselor, and when I listened to your podcast, I really loved your style of sharing. I really liked your ideas and belief systems and the way that you framed certain things. So it actually helped me so much as far as marketing, but I didn't even do it for that. I just asked myself, what's one small way that I can show up and help the world and contribute alongside my mission that I can do right now? And I did it, and it brought me so much joy, peace, clarity, and alignment in ways that I didn't even expect. Step number 3 is to release the fear of choosing the wrong path. There's no such thing as the wrong path. It's just a little detour, if you will. If you're a perfectionist like myself, you know that perfectionism will keep you stuck. But I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, from experience, from research, there's really no such thing as the right path. There's only aligned, inspired action. There's following the breadcrumbs that will lead you to your purpose. And it is okay. I'm telling you this right now. If you need a permission slip, here's your permission slip. It is okay to make a detour. It is okay to try something, realize you don't like it, and try a different angle, okay? It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to grow and be human. In this self-development space, it's really common to feel this fear of being imperfect. In that way, throw that out the window. It's all good, all right? Because guess what? You're gonna make mistakes anyway. You're gonna try things and you're gonna fail at them. You're gonna try things again and realize that you don't like it at all. You're gonna maybe waste money on something and you're like, oh, darn, right? Those are just things that are gonna be inevitable in life, all right? And so if you decide right now to change your mindset around it and say, you know what, there's no right path, there's no wrong path. There's just taking the most aligned step now, and it's okay if that changes. For example, my most aligned step was going to NYU for journalism. That's what felt genuinely aligned to me. Like I couldn't imagine anything else. My heart felt so set in that direction. And then my first year of college, as I was getting my journalism degree, I realized, whoa, this is the last thing on earth that I want to do. But what I realized was I had so many limiting beliefs about how I could show up and do my mission. And I realized what I liked about journalism was I was using my voice. I was writing to help the world, right? And I realized, oh wow, there's so many other ways that I could do that. And then I found psychology, and I found counseling, and I found energy work, and I found, creating content, right? And I realized, holy moly, I can start using my voice right now to help the world by making a podcast, start posting on Instagram, writing a blog. And that's exactly what I started doing when I realized that that's what felt right and aligned in my mission. But I had these blinders on. I had these limiting beliefs around what my job could look like, what success meant, right? And so when I started to grow my mindset and heal a lot of these wounds and rewire these limiting beliefs, I realized, oh, that's just what felt the most aligned and safe to me in this present moment. But now what feels aligned and safe to me is taking a gap year and changing my major and getting these certifications. So that's what I did. And so there's no right path, there's no wrong path, there's just aligned and not aligned. And your goal, your mission is to continue to take aligned action. And when you don't really know where to go, pause, take a deep breath, reflect, get back in alignment, and then act from that place of alignment. There's this quote from Beartown that I absolutely love, and it is, the only time that I'm not moving is when I'm taking aim. Or the only time I'm not moving forward is when I'm taking aim. I don't know the exact words, but that's the essence of it, and I love it so much. So when you feel aligned, go take action. When you're not feeling aligned, when you're confused, take a beat. It's okay not to be moving at such a fast pace all the time. Take a beat, recalibrate, reflect, and then take action when you feel inspired. There's also a ton of research that supports that people who experiment with different paths and career ideas end up more fulfilled long term. And so a little goal, a little action tip that I have for you is pick one thing that feels super aligned and super special to you, like, oh, this could be it, and do a 6-month experiment. Go for it for 6 months, tackle it, give it your all, and then reassess, right? I did that with journalism. I tried it for an entire year at school and realized this isn't for me, but I really gave it a shot, and that's okay. And I learned so much about myself throughout that process. And so find something that's aligned, find something that you are super passionate about, and then go for it and try it for like 3 to 6 months and then see how you feel. The fourth step is to understand the power of nervous system regulation, because if you're in your 20s or 30s and you're feeling super anxious and lost and confused, chances are that your nervous system is also wreaking havoc. So make it a priority to every single day when you wake up and then periodically throughout the day, take a moment to be extremely present in your body, mind, and soul. All right, so take really deep breaths, do abdominal breathing, do other breathing techniques, meditate in the mornings, journal, reflect. Be present when you're drinking your coffee, be present when you're enjoying meals or when you're with company, put your phone down. All of those things are going to help you with your nervous system. When you are anxious, it blocks your intuition, it blocks your flow. And so you want to make sure that you are acting from a place of clarity, balance, and calm as much as possible. Another great thing that can help quell your anxiety is to play a mind movie of the absolute best case scenario in the morning and at night. So visualize if you were living your dream life, if you felt aligned and balanced and peaceful and abundant and all the things you want to feel, how would you react to things? How would you go about your day? Start to play that mind movie of the best case scenario to quell all of those nerves. And believe in yourself. Believe that it is so possible. EFT tapping is also a really, really great tool that I love that immediately helps me feel less anxious. If I'm feeling all of those things come up, I'll take a deep breath, I'll be mindful, have a glass of water, and then I'll literally just tap it away at those meridian points, right? I'll just literally tap all of the bad thoughts away and reaffirm the positive with targeted affirmations. And it does work, it does help so much. So I'm gonna leave some things in the description box that can help you with nervous system regulation, whether it's a meditation, tools that I've made, or just what EFT tapping is. I'll leave all that in the description so that you have those tools and resources to help heal your nervous system. I also wanted to end off this video really anchoring in the point that your most aligned path is not gonna look like anybody else's, all right? So if you are looking online and comparing yourself to other people, it truly is fruitless because your most aligned, passionate, amazing path is your own. It's unique, and how you get there is gonna be unique, okay? Even if you wanna be a doctor and you know that like, all right, I have to go to med school and do residency and do XYZ, yes, there's steps that are going to look the same for most people, but how that is actualized, how you implement those steps are going to be unique to you, right? Your timeline, how you do things, where you live, all of those things are going to be so different. And so really erase that mindset of comparison. Erase the idea that there is a timeline, that you're supposed to be somewhere, like whatever that means, okay? And really come back home to yourself, to the peace of this present moment and say, just because I'm not where I want to be does not mean that I'm not exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. And most importantly, trust and surrender to your divine timing, to your highest path, and know that when you take action from alignment and experimentation and peace, that is when the best path unfolds for you. And that is when you start to achieve things and things come into your field without you even expecting it, in ways that are better than how you could have imagined. And with that said, that concludes this video. I hope from the bottom of my heart that it inspired you and made you feel a little bit better about going through a quarter life crisis, because honestly, every single person is probably feeling the exact same way that you are. If this video helped you, please let me know in the comments one of the biggest takeaways that you are taking with you from this video. And if you feel like you know someone in your life who is potentially feeling this way or could benefit from this video, send it to them. We heal through community, we heal through connection. And if you want some deeper guidance and support, I have a free anxiety-free toolkit with a guided meditation, 40 journaling prompts, and 5 breathing exercises to help you heal your anxiety and align with your dream life. So I'll also put that in the description box if you're interested. It's completely free, and I still use those tools almost every single day to this day. And if this content resonates with you, then subscribe, like, comment, stick around, all of that YouTube stuff. I'm so grateful that you're here, spending time with me on this little corner of the internet. And with that said, thank you so much. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.